Morning, everybody. Welcome back to Apostate Weekly. Boy, have we got another busy week full of news for you this morning, from smoking to boxes being opened to other stuff going on. I'm your host, James,
And I'm Rion.
and let's roll that intro. Oh boy, yeah. So last week we concentrated so much on the protest in Pennsylvania that we had so many other stories to cover we didn't get to, and so we feel like we're going to kind of play catch up this week. And so, speaking about Pennsylvania again, I know we've been kind of beating a dead horse here, but I want to share one thing to get us all started off with this morning, and just a reminder for everybody to call the legislators or your representative in Pennsylvania tomorrow morning, starting at 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., and call them and let them know that you want HB1 and HB2 to be passed.
Absolutely. Thank you. We really appreciate all the support that we're getting here in Pennsylvania. So even if you live in Pennsylvania or you do not, you can call and just let them know that you support this bill in Pennsylvania, and you will also be supporting similar bills in your state.
Yes,
They just need to know the
absolutely.
people are speaking.
So please make that phone call. And also, speaking of Pennsylvania, we have another state that might be passing some legislation on these laws as well.
Yeah, the
You
statute
want
of
to
limitations.
you want to tell us about that, Ryan?
Yes, so in Michigan, and I want to thank Jay because Jay is actually the one who gave it to me this morning. So a similar thing is happening in Michigan, and they're trying to get the statute of limitations. It's not the same thing, but they're trying to get the statute of limitations extended because every state has different lengths for their statute of limitation, different ages, etc. So they're just trying to push out that window even further, whereas Pennsylvania is just trying to open a 2-year window, so like anybody at certain ages can just come if their statute has passed. But either way, this is the kind of legislation that we need and we want passed in states, so that way survivors, especially children, have their opportunity to have their voice heard and get justice.
Yeah, and I look at it this way: any step to either extend the age limit, to extend the time limit, to give a time frame window, it's all steps in the right direction. Because when people
Absolutely.
start seeing these moves made and seeing that they're effective, they'll start petitioning for more of these to happen, more of these laws to be passed, and to help even more people out. So even if though it might be a 2-year window now in Pennsylvania, of course I know it hasn't passed yet, but just say it does get passed and we get that 2-year window now and people can see the benefit of it, well, you might get that many more people the next time petitioning to get it passed again or to get rid of the statutes of limitations altogether on these things. So little steps like this are
Right.
positive in the right direction and bring awareness. Everybody needs to keep pushing these legislators to get these laws passed.
Exactly. And just know that there is so much opposition. Churches are big money. They don't want these things happening. They're always, if not in the forefront, they're at least in the background supporting legislation against this. They're somehow giving their constituents money, supporting their campaign, whatever it is that they do to keep the wheels of justice moving forward, they're going to do, because they know ultimately they will be found out that the perpetrators are being bred inside of these churches and children are being groomed inside of these spaces. So they
Yeah.
want to they want to protect their name just as much as the Jehovah's Witnesses want to protect their name.
Oh, yeah. And I think I've shared it with you before on Discord about there's this TikToker lady who gives updates. I don't know if it's weekly or what about how many reports of sex crimes there are, and she'll go through and list how many like pastors and priests and
Oh,
everything,
yeah.
and then she'll say, and again, there was no drag queens, no anybody of the LGBTQ community that were part of this. And you really see a pattern of, where these abuses are really taking place.
Exactly. It's just a bunch of gaslighting from the other side to, I mean,
Mhm.
it's projection.
Oh,
They're
absolutely.
projecting on our community what they are the ones perpetrating.
I
It's
know.
horrible. It's such a bad feeling to know like where it's really happening, but people they don't want to see it because the church is their identity.
Yeah,
Hey,
and I wish they would take that same vitriol they have towards the people who aren't doing it and focus it on the ones who are.
yeah, exactly. Hmm.
This
Well,
these
we can
laws would
force
get
their
passed so much
hands.
faster.
They would, but that's why we have to just be louder and more vocal. Well, same thing, louder, more vocal. You know what I mean?
More
Start shouting.
obnoxious.
Okay, don't shout at your senators, your legislators, but be that
But shout
speaking
at
man.
everybody else. No.
Everybody, yeah, go ahead, shout at me. That's fine.
All right, let's go ahead and move on to our next story that we have. And we've been hearing now for a while, and I know probably a lot of you already know the answer to this question. What is in the box?
Oh yeah,
And
what's in
so
the box?
so I I'm sure everybody's heard that the Watchtower Society has sent out all these secret boxes to the congregations, and they're not supposed to open them till what, like November 6th or something.
Yeah, I don't know why like did it need to be out so long when they were planning on high? Like, what is?
Well,
Okay,
it
whatever.
so I actually talked to my dad about this a little bit, and he said they've pulled this
Mm,
stunt before.
because he's an elder, just if people
Yeah,
don't know, your father was an elder.
was
Excuse
an
me.
elder. Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Oh. Shut up.
But he's like, yeah, they've pulled the same stunt before. It's usually nothing spectacular. I mean, I'm kind of hoping for like, large dildos or something for the elders.
If the box is a buzzing,
So they can
don't go
all
opening.
go into their backroom buddy system.
But didn't we find out that it's just a book or something or a
We did.
brochure?
We found out what it was. I'm going to go ahead and share what it
Okay.
is with you right here. So Ron Pomo shared this on Twitter.
We
Says
love
the
you, Ron.
the boxes contain a new brochure that will be released at this year's annual meeting entitled "Love Jehovah, Make Disciples." Like, we haven't heard that same message before.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
the same message repeated over and over, just repackaged and dressed up every single time.
I know it's
Like, come
just so
on.
ridiculous. I mean, it's like you create all this false excitement, and it's a brochure.
That would be
I,
more exciting, I'm just saying.
well, does it squirt?
Well, well, maybe that brochure will bring tears of joy for the JWs or book, whatever you want to call it.
But like,
Propaganda.
and I'm putting myself back when I was a witness, okay? And to me, it would be something that, okay, we got this box, it's cool, and something's not working. I'm trying to stop sharing my screens. There we go. And if if I were to find out it's a brochure, I'd be like, so what? I didn't read the magazines and literature anyways. So like, I'm not excited to get a new brochure.
I think that well, we all know that it's just to create a buzz. They like creating mystery.
A
It's just to
buzz.
make something interesting for them, buzz, because they don't have anything exciting because this could just be released online. There's no reason for this to go to a Kingdom Hall, but it's going
I,
to, I wonder what's in there. What could it be? Oh, it feels heavy. Oh, who touched it? Did anybody get
well,
over it?
it's the whole dildo in the stick thing. You know, they're always holding it in front of them and they're chasing after it. And come on. Oh, you almost got it. You almost got it.
Oh, gotta be quicker
so
than
close.
that. That commercial with the dollar bill and the old man.
That's how I was thinking the exact same thing.
Gotta be quicker than that. I mean, it's sad and we're laughing at them, you know, and I do feel bad because this is all they have. Could you imagine this being a highlight of your summer? Is thinking about what's in this box. That's really unfortunate for people.
And then it's just like you open it up and then it's going to be like, wah, wah, wah.
That's what it feels like to me.
You know?
Yeah. It's just part of their theocratic warfare.
And like, and if you think there's going to be any big, like revelations coming out, yeah, Kool-Aid recipe book.
That's good. I like that. It's cool. Add Revelation 22 with a little bit of sugar. But drink it down.
But I also don't think that they're gonna have like any new like revelations in it. Like, you know, they're not gonna tell you like, oh, the end is coming on this date or this year or whatever. I just think it's gonna be another bland brochure that's not gonna have anything major in it. Because right now I think they're in the covering their ass kind of mode from prophesying anything, you know?
I've heard some people wonder, like, just I don't know if it was Reddit. Oh, and a friend of mine was talking to me, but they were wondering if there would be some new light in there. Do you think?
I think what it is, it's going to be a light bulb from like the 1930s repackaged as something new.
Yeah.
Because they've been known to do that. You know what I mean?
I mean, I guess in a way they do get everybody talking about it. Look, we're discussing it, curious what's in the box. I mean, we know what's in the box, but will there be new light revealed?
God, that was awful, Martin. I remember that. That was so terrible. I was at the convention when they released that, and I remember when they were playing samples of the songs during it, and I was still indoctrinated, and I hated the songs.
I was right off fan, and they got rid of some of my favorite ones. They got rid of some of my favorite songs. Didn't they get rid of Weird Jehovah's Witnesses, or do they still have that one?
They got rid of that one. That was one of my favorites too when I was in.
What about shoot, Life Without
End at Last?
That last, is that one still? That's like a favorite.
What about your favorite wedding song, Shulamite Maiden? Dear
just how I want to be remembered. Just how I want to be remembered on my freaking wedding day. Please, no.
The reason why I remember that one so much is because I actually did the sound for many people's weddings at my Kingdom Hall, and that was one I played all the time.
You should have been like, remix. Shulamite Maiden.
Shulamite.
I'm sorry, y'all. We are definitely like not professional this morning.
We thank you, Jehovah, for the Shulamite Maiden.
DJ James on the wheels of freedom.
I've DJ'd weddings before too, so you know.
Oh, brother. Oh, that's just too good.
Yes, sister.
Yeah, but that whole release was terrible, and I'm wondering if there's going to be some kind of transformation inside of this book. I guess I am curious to know. So they got me hooked too. Good job, J-Dubs.
Yep, good
job.
got
me. You got me.
Let's move along from this one. What do you say?
Sure. Yeah, sorry. We've probably beat that one to death.
Why don't you tell us what's going on with the Scientologist?
Oh, yeah. Let me just present this on the screen because Danny Masterson. I feel like everybody knows Danny Masterson of that '70s show fame. Like, if you don't know him from anything else, that's like the biggest, at least where I know him from as an actor. So he is a second generation Scientologist. And for years, this guy was getting away with really bad, like, I'm not going to mention it on here, but it involves obviously SA, drugs, like drugging people, things of that nature. And he was found guilty on two charges. I forget exactly what they are. The third wasn't, because there was three. There was a third person, but that, for whatever reason, that person was a huge propulsion into why this case even got reheard, because there was like, so this has been going on for months. So everybody is, at least on the ex-cult members, is thrilled. Leah Remini is very excited about this. She even testified in the trial. And if you look through her tweets, like, she goes through this like brick by brick, and about how long he's gotten away with the abuse and how Scientology has facilitated that ability of his, with their, we know that they've been in cahoots, excuse me, I couldn't think of the words, but in cahoots with the police. So that's why these people get off, because they're able to pay off people on the inside who have control of this stuff. But finally, I think probably a good part of this is also Leah Remini bringing it to the forefront. She has a very powerful voice, as for the ex Scientologist community. So, and her and the other guy that she hosts her show with, they have like a bunker where there's a lot
Mike
of
Rinder.
Substack. Yeah, there's like a Substack where they discuss this in full if you really want the information. But
But
yeah,
by the
I'm just
way,
happy about that.
gonna cut you off real quick.
No, that's
Uh,
fine.
Talking about Mike Rinder real quick, he is actually stepping away from activism. He's been
I
diagnosed
heard
with
he's sick.
esophageal cancer.
I just found that out. Yeah,
I
because of this.
know.
I hope, oh God, I'm so
So,
heartbroken
and
after
he was,
everything he's been through. And he's
and I
such a,
love listening to him speak. You know, he's got such a wonderful voice, got such heart, such passion,
mhm.
and him and Leah together were just so awesome. And it's so sad to see that he has that and has to step away from it. So, you know, if you ever hear this, Mike Rinder, we're sending love to you, man. We appreciate everything you've done.
We really, really do. You're amazing. We see you and we're thinking of you. It's a shame. Okay, so yeah, that's that on the Danny Masterson trial. Uh,
And speaking of like things about rape and stuff, that actually kind of ties into the next story I was going to share this morning. Um, Japan is actually changing the way they define rape. Now,
right.
one thing I will say though is their laws are a little antiquated on it as it is. Okay, so they're not like leading the world in how they handle it currently. Okay, but they are working on broadening their definition of it, because their narrow definition they currently have has led many prosecutors to not go after these rapists in their country. And so it's really made it hard to prosecute these people. So with them broadening their definition of it, it opens up for a lot more people to be actually prosecuted and convicted for committing these crimes. And I think,
Mm.
you know, and despite the fact that they're not where they should be, it's nice to see they're making progress in the right direction to continue to help victims. We've seen already
Yeah.
with like the ex Jehovah's Witness lawyers in Japan are starting to do that we've reported on before. And now we're seeing these kinds of laws being passed. So I think all these things are going hand in hand, and it's going to make that country just so much better for that.
It really is amazing what some of these other countries are doing when it comes to drawing a line in the sand with how much religions can get away with, how much they want to protect their people with adjusting laws of this nature. I I hope that one day American can be, that we could actually be progressive. I think people think we're progressive, but we're just really
Oh
not
god, we are
progressive at all.
very not progressive, especially right now.
No. So on that note, I just thought that I would briefly mention the fact that a video was leaked by, I'm guessing, a PMO person somewhere. And there's a video of Toni Morris that was supposed to be shown in, I think, a morning worship or something.
Yeah,
And it got shelved. And I guess it was meant to be deleted and it got leaked.
it got
I,
shelved because Tony got canned.
yeah, Toni got axed. And the video is freaking hilarious. If you have
Oh my
not
god,
watched it, you have to
it
watch it because
it
this guy is
is
just,
so stupid. His
it's a
analogy
stupid
is so
analogy. I
freaking
can't.
stupid because
It really
he's
is.
he's the talk um uh, the title of the talk that he gives is called "Beware of Satan's Temptation to Make You Smoke," and it has nothing to do with smoking cigarettes whatsoever or anything like that. He's talking about how uh, Satan um, wanted to had that was puffed up with pride and wanted
Mhm.
the power, and so that's what they're he's using the analogy of smoke with as being puffed up with pride. I'm just like, I mean, I can kind of get it, but man, I got to really stretch my brain on that one. It's so just
I
stupid.
could get it if he could recognize himself in that analogy.
Yes.
If I were to bring that analogy up and talk about my pridefulness at some point in my life, and I was just billowing with smoke and I could not see my own self, like,
But,
okay, then I could. There was a
but
time where I just wasn't really present and checking out my reflection and the inner workings of my shadow. But he just goes right,
yeah. And for those who want to see
goes
the
right through that.
video, I just put the link in the chat on both channels here. So you can go check out the full version of that video. It's on avoidjw.org. So why are you putting your own comments up on the screen? She
Don't
put that
forget
up,
to
not
like.
me. She did that.
Don't forget to like, please like,
Like,
share,
please like, share, and
subscribe.
subscribe because it helps the YouTube algorithm and it helps get us
Yes.
out there. So we do appreciate everybody's support. Do you have anything else for this morning, Ryan?
One moment. Oh, you said you wanted to mention about the JW conventions. I don't know where you
Oh
got that
yes.
from, but
Yeah, I've been seeing reports on Reddit about how the convention numbers are like down so much. And like we talked about this like a week or two ago, how like I looked up the conventions in my area just to see where they were at, and they're having it at an assembly hall instead of like the convention hall that they usually do around here. And
mhm.
so it's much smaller of a venue than their normal conventions. And then I've been seeing reports of other conventions where the attendance is really low and there's like so many empty seats. So, it's just some good news in the decline of this cult and how people don't want to show up to these things no more.
No, because there's nothing there of sustenance. It's
Yeah.
empty calories. That's all it is empty calories. And as far as spiritual food goes, eh, it might serve a purpose for, I don't know, once or twice, maybe one meeting you go to once a year. Okay, that sounds sure. But when you're getting that same regurgitated food over and over, it doesn't taste good anymore. I think even wait, I think um Jonathan did a video on that and I thought it was really funny. I should have had that queued up. But anyway, yeah,
Oh, and
no
then there
thank
was
you.
this one story just real quick. I was reading on Reddit how this person who's not a Jehovah's Witness, but he's in the XJW Reddit thread. He decided to go to a convention and try to act like he was interested in it. And he was saying how nobody talked to him. They like avoided him and everything.
Yeah, it's
It's
not
just
fun.
crazy. It's just like, you got these people going out, passing out these invitations. And so somebody shows up, you know, and they totally ignore him and act like they're not there, or like they're a disfellowship person. And he's like, I even try to like
Mhm.
keep my head up, sit up front, like do all the things to like make himself noticed, and yet they still ignored him. It's just like, wow,
Mhm.
such warm Christian love.
You're either gonna get super love bombed, which again is just predicated on fake conditional things that you need to fulfill in order to continue to get that love, or it's the complete opposite where they're uncomfortable and they don't know how to approach you and they think that you're probably bad association, which is how people treated me like my last few times that I was going to the Kingdom Hall, which is part of the turn off as well, why I decided to never go back there. But
Oh yeah.
yeah. Oh, one quick thing. There was something else I saw. Oh, Philip Brumley. We had talked
Yes.
about the lawyer for the Jehovah's Witnesses, and he had this is about a s- essay, a case, and Brumley was fined $150,000 because he lied in a two-page affidavit. He immediately filed an appeal, and the plaintiffs have immediately filed another appeal back. He's trying to say that he wasn't acting as the lawyer for the Jehovah's Witnesses. Can you believe that bullcrap? The lawyer for the J Dubs is saying that he wasn't acting as a lawyer, yet he filled out an affidavit. Like,
After
what?
he already got caught lying, mind you.
Right. Like, which is it, bro? Oh, yeah. He
Yeah.
was saying that the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society, or whatever it is, didn't have association with, like, wasn't giving instructions to this specific congregation and whatnot, and they found that to be a lie. The plaintiffs gave their information and documentation that that was a lie, and that's why he lost. And well, not this point, but why he was fined. Excuse me, why he was fined. Now, obviously, he's fighting it, so we don't know what's going to happen with that, but hopefully, the judge will see it for what it is. Bullcrap.
Hopefully they slap him with more fines for his stupidity.
Yeah, quite frankly, the fact that he's wasting so much time in court with all these appeals and
Mm-hmm.
I just
Yeah.
want for once a judge to say, "I'm sick of the abuse of the law system." Why don't they do that? It's really
Mm.
frustrating.
They should,
Anyway,
they wasting everybody's time and money and resources, and it's just when it could be put to better things than wasting their time on this stupidity.
exactly. Yep.
So,
It, our society could be we could have so many social programs to help people, and unfortunately all we have for people to turn to are programs like AA that are centered in religious jargon
and
or
those are
cults.
AA is a cult in itself. I've
It
got it.
is. Like, I didn't even know that until waking up myself and hearing people speak about how, like, it's all centered around religious
I got a
thought-stopping
friend.
techniques. Sorry.
I got a friend of mine who he actually wrote a book. I think I shared it on this channel, the mentally diseased book. And
Yeah.
he was in AA, and he talks about how it's a cult. He's like, being in it, he really sees how it was just like being in the Jehovah's Witnesses, just different brand on it.
Yep, exactly.
So
Just different packaging. It's
yeah,
really all these are. They have specific tenets, principles, whatever you want to call it, but they're very dogmatic about it. And it's just one of the calling cards. It's like a dog whistle to cults. Um, again, people look up the bite model. I'm sure we've repeated this at nauseum, but the bite
oh yeah,
model is so helpful with identifying cults and the influence continuum. It's really helpful.
yes.
So,
But anyways, I think we covered everything today. We got through quite a bit.
yeah. Yeah, that was
So
good.
maybe we'll have nothing for next week, and we'll just take a week off. I don't know. We'll see.
I kinda doubt it. I really
I
highly
know.
doubt it.
With how busy the news has been, jeez.
Yeah, but thank you to everybody who we really appreciate the support. Like, it's always the same people, not always the same, but we have a lot of the same people in the comment section
Hmm.
just chatting to us. And we see you, we appreciate you. You give us strength and courage. And I hope that we can do the same for you and get this nice circle jerk going of love. We
Yes, it did,
really,
Ken. It came out
oh, yeah.
on the 10th, his new book.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's
So
dope.
yeah, go to Amazon and look up Micah Losh, Losh, and you'll find his books.
Um, I think, is that who, shoot, is that, I think that might be who I keep saying that I want to do an interview with. Oh, farts. I have them in my, it might be them. Yes. Oh gosh. It is Micah. Ugh. Micah, if you see this, I'm sorry. We have been talking for months and I keep saying that I will do an interview on with him on him for Apostate Coalition. I'm just struggling, y'all.
Curious to see an interview with him. I actually have one with him already on my channel, my former to free channel. So you can go check that out. And then hopefully we can get him again on the Apostate Coalition as well.
Yeah, that would be great. So, Jonathan, if you want to do it with me, or if you want to do it with me, James, I mean, I don't mind doing them myself, but I don't want it to always just be my face. Or if somebody else and somebody else wants to interview, however, but yeah, I'd love to get his information out there because those books are important. They
Oh
help
yeah.
people. So,
Well, just, you know where to find me. So just message me and we can set something up.
okay, maybe we could do like a four-way chat in Discord. How
Yep.
about that? And
That
then we
sounds
can
good.
figure out who wants to do it. Okay. Anyway,
Yep. Anyways, with that being said, and
with
our
that being said,
back end business being
we're
handled.
getting ready to go. I'm sorry. We're getting ready to go, but please just rewind and watch if you don't mind. Give us a like and a little share. It helps with the algorithm.
That's right.
And
Even though we don't have
treat
any
yourselves
rhythm.
good. Talk about yourself, pal.
I know.
Yes.
I'm projecting onto you too.
Hey, we're Jehovah's Witnesses, ex Jehovah's Witnesses. So projection is just like natural for us.
It is.
So it's
It
all
is.
right.
It just beams out of us
It just happens
like a
naturally.
projector.
Yeah, it's like in our DNA or some shit.
But anyways, thank you everybody again for joining us this week. We really do appreciate y'all, and we will see you again next week.
Did you click it off yet?
Nope, not yet. Go ahead.
I just want to say also, like Sunday on Skeptic Haven, so many of you showed up. Some of you called in. And again, that does not go unnoticed. We appreciate your love and your support. I just want to make sure that y'all know how much that means to me. I feel like I could just repeat it over and over, but really, like I think about that, how y'all just come and support, like little troopers coming to support us on every channel that we're on. It means a lot. Thank you. Okay, now I'm done.
I was gonna say, to add to that, and you can catch Ryan and I on Skeptic Haven together on Sunday, July 2nd as well. So
Oh yeah, that's coming too.
have
So
that
if
coming up.
anybody
If
has
anybody
any
wants,
ideas, want to call in, yeah, please. We
so
appreciate it.
call in. And with that, have a great week, everybody. We will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Apostate your way. Listen to Baby Blessed.